evening and welcome to your Tuesday, October 7, 2025 edition of the Evening News. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for joining us. Let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Active NIS contributors increased to over 68,000 since 2020, says Finance Minister. China reaffirms commitment to supporting Guyana's modernization, says Ambassador. Government eyes expansion of dockyard facilities to support growing vessel fleet. Police constable charged for allegedly raping 14-year-old girl. Mentally ill woman remanded for killing sister. And new bridge, new habits. Police warn drivers to follow bridge lane rules. Now for the news in detail. Public Works Minister Juan Edgel announced that with the growing number of vessels operating in Guyana's waters, the government will now turn its attention to expanding dockyard facilities to support maintenance and servicing needs across both the public and private sectors. Michael Henry has more in this report.
As Guyana's maritime sector expands with the acquisition of new vessels, government officials are turning their focus towards increasing dockyard facilities for maintenance and servicing, a move Public Works Minister Juan Edgel announced on Friday at the commissioning of Guyana's two recent pilot maritime vessels.
And of course, one of the biggest things that we will have to look at, and I'm sure Minister Indar will pursue that with some amount of vigor, the fact that we're getting more vessels, we have to get more dockyards for servicing and maintenance of both the fleet that is owned by GOG as well as the private sector that is operating.
Minister Edgel also underscored the importance of improving maritime infrastructure to meet the sector's growing demands.
So apart from expanding the channels, we have to look at more efficient dockyards that will be able to ensure that maintenance is kept on schedule and the demand that is required is being met.
In fact, it was announced that within the coming months, several new vessels will be added to the national fleet as Minister Edgel announced plans to expand and modernize Guyana's maritime transport network.
Very soon, we will come back to this very same facility that you're borrowing today to commission this wharf. And with the commissioning of this wharf, adding at least 5 other vessels to the Transport and Harbors Department. So we're doing bigger things and better things. And then we're adding to that fleet 3 cargo boats that should be delivered in a couple of months that will work in the Berbice, the Demerara, and in the Pomeroon River to boost agriculture and agricultural development. So the enlargement and the expansion is going greater.
Michael Henry, The Evening News.
Here is Michael Henry once again, this time to report that more Guyanese are now contributing to the National Insurance Scheme, with active contributors increasing by over 68,000 since 2020. Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh says the rise reflects strong job creation, business growth, and expanding economic activity across the country.
The number of active employed contributors to the National Insurance Scheme has grown from 184,928 in 2020 to 253,489 as of August 2025, an increase of 68,561 persons, reflecting significant expansion in Guyana's workforce. According to Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh, the number of active employed contributors presents an increase of more than 37%. Dr. Singh, who was at the time addressing the insurance scheme's 56th General Assembly on Monday, said the rise in contributors directly mirrors the expansion of the country's workforce and the rapid pace of economic growth over the past 5 years.
That, of course, should not come as a surprise to us, because we know from other data sources that over the course of the 5 years from August 2020 to August 2025, we know that during that period, more than 60,000 new jobs were created. We know that from data available elsewhere. And so what this number confirms is in fact, or what this number reflects, is consistency with that which has been determined by other administrative data that we have, that nearly 70,000 persons are working today more than were working in August of 2020, reflecting the growth and expansion in our economy, the expansion in private investment, the opening of new companies and new businesses and new enterprises, and the creation of more jobs.
The finance minister noted that this increase also demonstrates heightened confidence in the formal economy, with more Guyanese securing stable employment in both the private and public sectors. Dr. Singh also pointed to a significant increase in self-employed contributors from 6,210 in August 2020 to 13,288 in August 2025. That represents an increase of more than 7,000 persons, or a 113% rise over the 5-year period. He described this as a positive trend, reflecting growing entrepreneurship and the expansion of small and micro enterprises throughout the country.
So if you put together the 68,000, nearly 69,000 more persons who are on the active employed persons roll and the 7,000 plus who are on the self-employed roll, the NIS has more than 75,000 more active contributors in August of 2025 than the scheme had in August of 2020. That's 75,000 more people that you're receiving contributions from.
Dr. Singh commended the staff of the NIS for managing the growing volume of contributions while continuing to deliver on their mandate. He also urged the scheme to continue strengthening its administrative systems and capacity to meet the growing demand, emphasizing that the government expects further expansion in the years ahead as new investments come on stream.
We anticipate continued expansion in the economy, and we therefore anticipate that continued and growing demands will be made of the scheme as more people enter the world of work, and therefore as more people enter the register of active contributors at the scheme. The work is not going to get easier, and it's not going to get less. It's going to get more. I shouldn't necessarily say it will get harder, but it will get more.
Michael Henry, The Evening News.
Here is Trishul Sobers to report the chairman of the National Insurance Scheme Board of Directors, Ramesh Prasad, has called on staff across the organization to redouble their efforts to improve service delivery, embrace innovation, and adapt to a rapidly changing environment as the institution celebrates 56 years of providing social protection to Guyanese.
Speaking at the scheme's 56th General Assembly on Monday, Chairman of the National Insurance Scheme NIS Board of Directors, Ramesh Prasad, lauded employees for their commitment and dedication to an institution that remains a pillar of social security in Guyana. He noted, however, that while the NIS continues to make progress, the changing pace of society demands the organization to, and I quote, challenge itself to improve the manner in which it serves the public, end quote. Prasad reminded staff that despite the difficulties they may face, their work touches thousands of lives daily, from pensioners to self-employed, and the public's confidence depends heavily on the quality and timeliness of NIS service delivery.
My point there is that we cannot come to work every day and accept the status quo and accept that this is how we have been doing it for the last 40, 50 years. But we must challenge ourselves so that we can improve the manner in which we serve the general public. Now, we exist in an environment that almost all of you in this room are capable of going online to inquire of various types of information that you require. Now, imagine we exist in an ecosystem that requires us to have information technically at the speed of thought. The moment you think of it, people want an answer. Now, as an organization, we need to reach to that state whereby we are contributing to the movement of the ecosystem rather than the ecosystem alone shifting us out there.
Prasad emphasized that the organization exists within a broader ecosystem that is becoming increasingly digital and interconnected, where the public expects instant access to information and services. He reaffirmed that the vision is to see the NIS fully modernized, allowing transactions to be conducted online and through self-service platforms.
We can say we exist in an ecosystem that requires us to be a resilient organization. When we were started in 1969, much of what exists today in terms of the ecosystem did not exist in 1969. Much of what exists today in the ecosystem did not exist 10 years ago. Now, customer satisfaction from our beneficiary, we need to move to a future state whereby all of our transactions can be done online, whereby we can serve the public by self-service online. I think that's the vision of our president, that's the vision of our government, that's the vision of our minister. The board, I would like to tell you that is also our vision. We want to be in a position whereby we, to some extent, catch up to what the technology in the world is taking us, and also to lead that run.
The chairman acknowledged that while some of NIS systems in use today date back to the 1980s and 1990s, yet their longevity proves how robust they were once. However, he stressed that modernization is now critical to ensure the agency can upkeep with the demands of the growing tech-driven society. In reflecting on the scheme's operational progress, Prasad highlighted the impressive reduction in outstanding claims from nearly 15,000 per month several years ago to under 2,000 today. The NIS, he noted, now processes more than 20,000 claims monthly, ensuring that thousands of Guyanese receive timely pension and benefit payments. Trishelle Subbers, Evening News.
19-year-old Erwin Gentle, a police constable attached to the Supernam Police Station, Essequibo Region 2, was on Monday remanded to prison for allegedly raping a 14-year-old girl. The constable was arrested on the East Bank of Demerara by a rank of the Division 4B's Gender-Based Violence Unit for rape of a child under the age of 16. However, he appeared before Magistrate Tamika Clark at the Friendship Magistrates Court and was not required to plead to the charge when it was read to him. As such, he was remanded to prison until October 27, 2025. Coming up, China reaffirms commitment to supporting Guyana's modernization, says ambassador, and mentally ill woman remanded for killing sister. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.
Granny! What are you doing on the right of way? Like you're saying let the sunshine stretch your legs. Sunshine? Look, forget I ask. You know you're not supposed to be on the right of way, Granny. But I am digging, building, burning or planting. No horsing wrong, no horse riding or nothing for doing horses. But sunshine? What? You and sunshine get out the right of way. Sunshine will be glad. Good.
Mom, did you tell him that Danny went to pick up KFC?
No, wait a minute.
Are we really not going to tell him we already have KFC?
A tasty dinner shouldn't be that complicated. Crunch the routine and order a delicious KFC bucket for the best price. KFC, it's
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. In this Davina Samaru report, you will hear that the Chinese ambassador to Guyana, Yang, has reiterated her government's commitment to strengthening cooperation with Guyana and supporting the country's ongoing modernization efforts.
Chinese ambassador to Guyana, Yang, gave the assurance on Sunday during the commissioning ceremony of the U.S. $262 million Bar-Jagdeo Demerara River Bridge, an engineering marvel that was constructed by China Railway Construction International Limited. Ambassador Yang said the fixed high-span cable-stayed bridge stands as a testimony to the speed, technology, and high standards of Chinese construction.
It is gratifying to note that the Chinese companies have approached this project not only as builders, but also as responsible partners to the Guyanese people. Hundreds of local technicians have been trained. Numerous Guyanese suppliers have joined as partners, creating thousands of jobs and opportunities.
The commissioning of the new bridge, which now seamlessly links Regions 4 and 3, is a new beginning to the Guyana-China relations, the ambassador further expressed, as she recommitted her country's intention to continue working with Guyana in its modernization drive.
China stands ready to work with Guyana to deepen practical cooperation across all fields, to support the country's modernization drive, and to help improve the well-being of the Guyanese people. Within the framework of the Belt and Road Initiative, our shared goal is to realize the people's aspirations for common development and a better life. This is the responsibility embraced by Chinese enterprises, and it is also the calling for China as a responsible major country. Let us, therefore, celebrate the friendship between China and Guyana, and once again extend our warm congratulations on the commissioning of the new Demerara River Bridge.
China is already playing a key role in Guyana's developmental journey. For instance, Chinese companies constructed the 6 new regional hospitals that were recently commissioned across the country. Additionally, China Railway Group Limited is currently executing a US $192 million East Coast Demerara Road expansion project in Guyana, funded by a Chinese concessional loan to upgrade and widen the road from Sheriff Street to Orange-Nassau. Bilateral trade between Guyana and China has also expanded significantly in recent years, reaching an all-time high of approximately US $1.4 billion in 2024. China's direct investment in Guyana also surged from US $256 million in 2019 to US $10.6 billion in 2024.
55-year-old Allison Walters of Plantation Ross, West Coast Berbice Region 5, was on Tuesday remanded to prison for allegedly killing her sister.
The mentally ill Allison Walters appeared before Magistrate Michelle Matthias at the Blairmont Magistrates Court, where the charge was read to her. She was not required to plead to the indictable charge, which stated that on October 2nd, at Plantation Ross, she murdered 72-year-old Barbara Crawford, a pensioner of Amelia's ward, Linden. According to the police prosecutor Sergeant Garfield Edwards, the investigation is still ongoing and the case file is incomplete. He told the court that further legal advice is being sought on the matter. Walters was remanded and the case transferred to the Weldad Magistrates Court for November 7th, when the police will be expected to provide an update. It had been reported that Crawford's lifeless body was removed from the home of her siblings at Plantation Ross, West Coast Berbice last Thursday evening. Crawford had been staying with her sister since September 12th after attending the funeral of her brother. The accused, according to relatives, is believed to be mentally challenged. It had been reported that after fatally stabbing her sister, the accused told her brother, who lived in the lower flat, what she had done but refused to open the door to let him in. With the assistance of another brother who lives a few villages away, they were able to break into the upper flat, where the accused was seen armed with a knife and attacked one of the brothers with it. However, after wrestling with the woman for some time and with the assistance of others, they were able to relieve her of the weapon. It had also been reported that the accused, who has a history of violent outbursts, was previously accused of attacking her daughter in a similar manner. She reportedly would at times seek treatment at a medical health clinic in Region 6. And the police prosecutor told the court that the accused and the deceased are sisters. Walters was unrepresented. For the evening news, Andrew Carmichael.
Here is Andrew Carmichael, who reports that some 66 fisher folk from Albion and Port Morant, Region 6, received approximately $14 million worth of equipment to assist with their fishing operations.
The fishing equipment was handed over on Saturday by Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa, who reaffirmed the government's ongoing support for the fisher folk, taking into consideration the role they play in plying their trade. Many of them, Mustafa pointed out, have been doing it for years.
We have a number of plans for the fishing sector.
Mustafa further highlighted a series of initiatives already undertaken by the government since taking office in 2020 that have positively impacted the fishing sector. Among these are increased budgetary allocations for the agriculture and fisheries sector each year, revitalization of fisherfolk organizations across the country, the procurement of GPS tracking systems to enhance safety and security at sea, collaborative anti-piracy efforts involving national and regional partners, tax relief measures including the removal of duties on fishing equipment and duty-free access to outboard engines of 1,500 horsepower and under.
But we want also you as fisher folks to not only depend on this artisanal fishing alone. You must also be involved in other things. We must diversify the sector. That is why, from the Ministry of Agriculture perspective, we are looking now to help you to go into new things, additional activities, so that you can supplement your income. So over the next few months, you'll see the officers in the fishing sector, plus the other sectors. Places like Nari, I have the head of Nari here. He's here. We have the GLA, Forest Ghana Livestock Development Authority. All those agencies will work along with you in the fishing sector to also go into different activities to supplement your income.
Each fisher folk received 7 bundles of seined nets, an initiative representing a total investment of over $14 million.
Each one of you, 66 persons, will receive 7 bundles of seine from the government of Guyana. That's the commitment from your government, your president, the People's Progressive Party. So, and this is not the end. We will continue. We will continue to work with you.
Weeks leading up to the September 1st election, the Agriculture Minister, while meeting with fisher folk in the community, had promised that the government will be delivering these nets to them, these seines to them, to assist them in their to ply their trade. From Albion and the Quarantine for the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
As Guyana opens the new Demerara River Bridge, traffic officials are warning motorists that while the bridge promises smoother travel, old habits won't fit the new system. Luanda McAllister has the details in this report.
Appearing on a recent Road Safety and Youth Program, Inspector Hyatt Chino, attached to the Regional Division 3 Traffic Unit, said the new facility marks a major upgrade but will demand discipline from drivers. He noted that the bridge's new layout would change how commuters approach and exit, particularly for those traveling from Lagrange and the western side.
The southern driving lane will make it into one way as you exit off the bridge. It become a one lane, merging into one lane. Then you're proceeding west of the Harbour Bridge, you merge into one lane. You're going east onto the bridge, you merge into a single lane, and then they will have a slight diversion onto the northern driving lane.
The old traffic arrangement, which involved directional lane changes during peak hours, will no longer be in effect.
Okay, with the new river bridge now, as long as you come in west across the bridge, you remain in the 2 lane. But as you approach the end of the bridge, you will merge into a single lane for now to proceed to the roundabout. Same thing as you go east across the bridge. You come into a single lane and then merge onto the northern driving lane to catch the northern driving lane to 2 lane, and then you proceed.
According to the inspector, the transition will eliminate the need for temporary lane conversions. The new bridge, he added, will allow drivers to maintain a steady speed across the span.
With this new approach now, as long as you enter onto the bridge, you just accelerate and
you drive
80 kilometers, no holding back.
So it will be faster.
Faster.
While the new bridge signals progress, Inspector Chinna reminded motorists that safety remains a shared responsibility. Lawanda McAllister for the Evening News.
Here is Michael Henry to report that in observance of Breast Cancer Awareness Month 2025, the Guyana Cancer Foundation on Friday last hosted its annual tree wrapping exercise along Main Street, Georgetown, announcing the provision of 200 free mammograms through a collaboration with Dr. Balwant Singh Hospital and the Office of the First Lady.
Kicking off the tree wrapping exercise was a representative from Dr. Balwant Singh's hospital who announced the free distribution of approximately 200 mammograms to support early detection and awareness efforts.
I would like to announce through the support of the First Lady, Her Excellency Arya Ali, we are offering 200 free mammograms, and you can, with collaboration of the Guyana Cancer Foundation and the Guyana Cancer Society, 200 free mammograms. You can WhatsApp for an appointment 640-8830, 640-8830.
It is to this end that British High Commissioner to Guyana, Jane Miller, emphasized the life-saving importance of early detection. She noted that timely identification of cancer not only improves treatment outcomes, but also helps protect the well-being of families and communities.
I'm a huge supporter of this cause because it's a way of raising awareness. What we know is that early detection saves lives. It means your treatment will be less aggressive. It means that the treatment can be provided on time. It means that people can survive. And it's so important, not only for the individual, but also for the family and for communities. Throughout the month of October, as we come through Main Street, this becomes a reminder. It touches us. It reminds us not only of remembering for ourselves, but also our families and our communities.
Meanwhile, Minister within the Culture, Youth and Sport Ministry, Stephen Jacobs, emphasized that the tree wrapping exercise is more than just a symbolic decoration, but rather a reminder of resilience, unity, and hope.
Speaking to the survivors, for you to understand that we'll be with you side by side every single day. And I can say to you, as the heartbeat of the foundation mentioned earlier, that I will support you every single day, and the government will support you every single day. It's not merely about decoration. It's about sending a powerful message, a message of unity, a message of hope, a message of remembrance. Because our survivors would understand what they would go through, what their families would go through.
Minister Jacobs reflected on the struggles faced by survivors and their loved ones, highlighting the global impact of the scourge.
Our survivors would understand what they would go through, what their families would go through. So we share our love and support for you. Now, cancer is not just a medical condition. This is a global challenge that touches every single home, that touches every single community.
Michael Henry, The Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Berbice River Bridge is expected to be closed to vehicular traffic on Wednesday, October 8, 2025 at 16 hours 50 for a period of 1.5 hours.
Guyana bags 12 medals at CAC Bodybuilding Championships, and Slingers officially secures Elite League Championship with games in hand. These and more stories coming up in this evening's Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp.
It's Cricket Carnival time and MacCorp is knocking prices out of the park. Get the powerful Cat 320 GX for just 30 million, the SEM 655D wheel loader at 17.4 million, or the SEM 636D wheel loader for only 13.8 million. Each machine comes with free fuel warranty registration, 2 years warranty and a customer value agreement for the first 500 hours. Don't wait. Register your interest now at MacCorpCat.com or call us today on 703-8618. MacCorp, let's build Guyana together.
Premier insurance coverage for less. Stay safe. For bid, performance, retention, advanced mobilisation or customs bonds, bond with us. Fuel your success. Call 223-0840 or visit premierinsurance.gy. Premier Insurance coverage.
Mom, did you tell him that Danny went to pick up KFC?
No, wait a minute. Are we really not going to tell him we already have KFC?
A tasty dinner shouldn't be that complicated. Crunch the routine and order a delicious KFC bucket for the best price. KFC, it's...
Granny! What are you doing on the right of way? Like you're saying let the sunshine stretch your legs. Sunshine? Look, forget I ask. You know you're not supposed to be on the right of way, Granny. But I am digging, building, burning or planting. No horsing wrong, no horse riding or nothing for doing horses. But sunshine? But you and sunshine get out the right of way. Sunshine, let me glad. Good.
In today's tough driving conditions, every engine faces three powerful enemies: engine heat, pollutants, and frequent short trips. Each factor is a direct cause of engine sludge, a buildup of dirt that can block vital oilways. This triple threat demands triple protection. Castrol GTX's Triple Protect Power is engineered to fight these three main causes of engine sludge.
Welcome back to this evening's Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp. President of the Guyana Football Federation, Wayne Ford, has reaffirmed that construction of the highly anticipated Blue Water Stadium is expected to commence before the end of 2025, despite delays in finalizing the project's tender documents. Here are the details from Gerald Munford.
The international standard facility to be built at Durban Park in Georgetown is a collaboration between GFF and Blue Water Shipping. Designed as a multi-purpose stadium, it will feature locker rooms and a main pitch. The first phase of development will prioritize mini pitches to provide immediate playing opportunities for local footballers. Groundbreaking for the project took place in October 2024, with the tendering process originally scheduled for August 2025. However, that timeline was not met. Speaking last Friday, Mr. Ford explained that unseen challenges faced by the Federation's engineering partners caused the delay.
A few months ago, we had announced that we will have the tender documents by the 31st of August,
And of course, we had agreed timelines with our engineering partner, and unfortunately, they weren't able to meet that timeline. And you know, we're very patient with them because it's a very, very complex design process, and they're being very, very careful with everything. It's better to, you know, go back and look at different elements of the design before we just hastily try to meet the timeline. So we've been assured that within a matter of days we will have that.
Ford stressed his determination to see the project begin this year. He also dismissed concerns about overgrown vegetation at the site.
My team and I here, we are really pushing to have construction commence this year. I know there's been a lot of talk, and we have very good friends like to write about the condition of the ground, but anyone with a practical sense would know, if I went and weed this today, next week will be the same thing. So we're timing this up until we're nearing the commencement of construction, and then we will go in.
Once completed, the Blue Water